Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are back in Automation with the Lite Campaign V4.0 and our little let's play of it, playing as Superieco, Superieco company, yes, with Hand-Dieter Krause, oh yes, Dr. Hand-Dieter Krause, for you, that is Doctor. And we are doing quite well so far. We've just signed off our very first facelift of our first car, and so far, so good. We are competitive, we are selling despite the 106% competitor strength, and we are selling plenty of cars out of our medium factory. We should investigate a little what the markets are doing, what our market awareness is doing. Yes, it has increased slightly, 800%. 800% of 7%. Math. Yes, that is a little confusing if it's percent and percent, but yeah, I think we need to change that. But anyway, what this is telling us is that in those 4 months, we have already gone from, 0.9% in city budget to 7.1% awareness in that demographic. That is quite impressive. I like where this is heading. And now that we are selling into these markets, also check out the current affordability of our offerings. And that is around 90% for the premium demographics and around 70% for the standard demographics. That is spot on for where it should be. Around 70% you still get a decent margin on them. And, well, if that is what you can sell the car for, right? A decent margin on them, but you're not overselling or underselling. That's kind of a sweet spot, like 70-ish%. You're capturing most of the market and get all their cash. So this is looking pretty solid. Where do we go from here? Maybe make a sports car? I heard that. You shut up, yes? Our competitiveness in the various markets is looking also quite flash. I really like it. And there's the Gurnett CE46. Yeah, it's not doing great in this version, but we have the upgraded one ready as our little first facelift. Our reputation also is drastically increasing in that short amount of time. That is also boding well. So everything is pointing in the right direction. Even the economy does seem to not crater immediately, which is a bonus. So we are going to play this out. Probably going to, say, amass something like 9 months worth of stock. Because it's a little slow in getting that. So yeah, let's go with that. Let's forward to the release of the Gurnett Mark II. And we should be there in no time. Let's see what the economy does as well, if it craters from here or not. Oh, what was that? That was probably competitor release. Oh my. That didn't look good. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we did have the... because we released a year earlier than usual, like 5 years first engineering time is quite normal, but we released after 4, we had this brief period where it was all going pretty swell, and then the competitors came and crushed our dreams. I guess that's hard mode. Yeah. Alright. You could say that at least they are making it easy for us to build up stock. Great. Yeah, and that is exactly why you need to facelift instantaneously and not wait for, like, oh, maybe 2 years in I can start a facelift. No, wrong. Oh, that was another big hit we had there. But now we are in the phase where we're just retooling this, and they're not that high of costs coming from just redoing the minor tooling. And yeah, this one does need a refresh, doesn't it? 75%, yeah, percent-ish. It's not really a percentage, is it? 75 points score in competitiveness. That has dropped off a cliff. So we're getting back a few million here and there. And then comes the tax man. Hopefully not. There we go, okay. Those two are... Oh. This one is doing even worse. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is starting at 51%. Okay, so it's not... It's probably... where... That's the budget demographic. Okay, fuck. Ay, this is not looking great, is it? But fortunately, we do have a seller, and that is this one. That was a good move. The other one, questionable at best. But now we have a few cars in stock and can still sell those for a big amount of profit. We are almost back into 100 million here. Company valuation has recovered too, after a bit of a shaky start. It was fluctuating wildly. But what do we do now? It is time for our final facelift of this one. And then we need to make a new model. Yeah, that will be tricky. We've already paid back a serious portion of this loan though. 37 million here, 30 million there. Not bad. Remaining though is pretty scary. 84 million. 184 million outstanding. And yeah, our revenue of course is sky high at the moment. But then the taxman comes and just cuts off on our head. That is going to happen if we don't invest now into something bigger. So maybe we should. Not only a facelift, but something a little larger. I think what we can do is to upgrade our factory, because if you... Oh, really? 2 shifts on that one? Well, that's interesting. I thought they were a little bit more separated in load, because that was going to be my argument right now, that our engine factory is very much underloaded compared to the car factory. Let's have a quick look at our research and development. Where is the chassis monocoque? Okay, so we would be able to build a monocoque chassis at the moment. I'm not quite happy with our convertible though. That's not going well, but maybe we can just have this one carry it, and with that medium 1 you can't satisfy the market anyway. So we should be fine if we just go with this one and already start a new model. And then have a, yeah, that would be a 5-year cycle though, roughly. Ooh, that would be mid 56, or start 57 rather. That is far in the future. That is a long time for this facelift to carry us. On the other hand, this is very competitive at the moment. If we were making a new car, let's just assume we would. So let's select that one and check what bodies are available. Let's have a look here. 50. This one is quite nice. Let's see what its drag is doing. 3.4. That should be quite a bit better than this one. 4.7. Holy shit, yes. So that one would get quite some decent eco as well. Oh, and we could have the engine in the rear if we wanted to. So we have a sedan, 2 doors. They are all 2 doors. Oh, we have a 4-door sedan. Okay, that's nice. That would be the one to go for. And we have convertibles. And we would have a van, which we don't really care about. We have a coupe. We can make it the first eco sports car. We would have to ask kindly if Hand-Dieter is going to make us a super economical sports car engine. Well, he might be into that challenge. Well, who knows? But yeah, I like the body in general. This must be a new one, isn't it? I've not really chosen it before, or considered it before. Maybe that's because I've only been making sports cars in the last Let's Play, that is. Okay, let's select that one and see what we can do with a monocoque steel chassis. Double wishbone front again, semi-trailing arm rear. Okay, so we have some familiarity in those things. Not great, and 0 in that, which will hurt a lot. But yeah, we do get a 10% or 11% off on all the other choices. except for the 30 months here for the engineering time, which previously was 6 months, so that hurts. And I think what we are going to do for this one is to build a really nice new engine, but we're not going to put it into a factory just yet. It's going to be fully refined and fleshed out, but only as a prototype first. And then for the first facelift, we're going to pick that engine and put it in the car. So we're going with the existing engine just to shave off a bit of cost. Like we don't have to pay a big retool for the factory and as such. Although, no, we shouldn't have to, because that would still be in range for the major tooling to not be completely fallen apart. Ooh, might be tricky. But let's build a new one and see what that one would be like. So what kind of brief do we want to give to Hand-Dieter? I think it should be a more premium economy engine. What would he go for then? Probably an inline 4, right? Because that is like high end for him. Yeah, I would think something like 1.1 liter inline 4, something crazy small like that. He won't go much farther than this. All right, okay. Should we get him in? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what he does. Oh, I quite appreciate this challenge. Thank you for that. This will satisfy my desire for economical engines for at least 2 hours until I've finished designing it, because this is super easy. I mean, why? Okay, yes, you are incompetent, so that's why you are asking me to do it. Yes, but this is not a big challenge. Look at this. We're just going to reuse some good parts. We even have some familiarity already in the inline, because inline 3, you know. And this is way too large. Way too large. Where do we want to go? Maybe like 70 mil? And then we reduce this one to... this is still too large. This is still all too large. Maybe 68 mil here, and... yeah, this looks about right. 68, 75, good stuff. And we could go for aluminium, but I'm not a fan of mixing materials, because that sucks usually. It's the head expands at a different rate to the block, and that makes the engine inefficient and pop in the bad cases of it. And that's never a good thing. So we just go with standard components, and for the compression, I think we can go for high end, like 7.2 to 1. And here, of course, drop it down to 24. We have no aspiration because this company sucks. No. Yeah, it literally sucks. And then this is the big advantage of inline 4. And that is why I'm going for inline 4 now. If you want to have a premium, a really premium inline 4, you need to go for the twin carburetors. Because the twin makes it such that the fuel is distributed more equally across the cylinders, and this gives you a better burn and more efficient burn. And that means you can get higher compression, and that means less, more efficiency for the engine and less waste. So very, very nice. Going for regular leaded, because that is what we have. Not horse piss, this is shit. Or no piss. So then 50, of course. Well, why are you even asking, right? So we go down here. Maybe this one can be around 2,500 again, and I think it can rev pretty high. We are very advanced nowadays. We could do. This is supposed to be a prototype, right? So we can just go nice on the quality sliders, and then take a shit on the engineering side of the factory. That appeals very much to me. How much familiarity do we have here? 15.4. Yeah, that's good. We can go like plus 3 here already. Alright, so reverse flow it is, and then we have... that is too little. 16%? This seems familiar somehow. This is 16.1, so it seems to be a bit on the edge, but we have some more RON to play with, some more octane, and this should give us some good stats. Ah, yes, there we go. This is 16.3%. Very nice, very efficient engine. I'm quite proud of this. We can increase it a little further. The engineering time is also not too bad at all. 57 months, that is very manageable, especially for a prototype. So we should be good with this one. Lots of more power than the other one. Especially if we compare, let's compare to our existing new E50 facelift of the SE800. Ah, look at this powerful engine. This is a sports car engine. Look at this, 38.3 horsepower. Who needs more than this? I don't know. This is ridiculous. But the best part about it, look at that. Smooth like a kitten that purrs. Yes. The only downside to my new engine here is the weight. Especially if you compare here, it's 20 kilos heavier. That is quite a lot. I mean, that's 2 sacks of potatoes. That's a lot. Like, if you drive around with 2 sacks of potatoes in your rear seats, you sure see the difference in fuel economy from that. That is significant. All right, let's give it a whirl. Let's see. So, what does it sound like? Yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah. That's too high revving. Sorry, we have to stop there. We are using too much fuel. Oh well, that was quite a design. I have to give it to him. That's impressive. Let's have another look at it now that he's gone. We can take a proper look. So yeah, looking solid. Lots of more power, which is not completely underpowered if we put it into a slightly heavier car. I mean, the percentage here is nice, and engineering time, he didn't go overboard there, which is just astounding. Okay, but what car do we put it into? I think it must be the 1950s sedan 4-door. And then we start out with an automatic, auto-tragic 2-speed gearbox. Probably have to settle on 135s as a baseline once again. These are a lot larger though. We had 100, can go higher than that. So 95, 16. That is big. And that means that we probably can fit some nice brakes into there. Now that we have 2-shoe, that is also neat. Let's put the rear at 250 and the front. We probably don't need more than 300. Although I do want to set it rather comfortable on the brake pads. No squeakiness. And where do we want to put this? Somewhere there, maybe? I don't know. On the first run through, doesn't really matter. And 70 here. 70 is about right for a car in that demographic. 5-seater, yes. Standard, yes. That standard is a little expensive, but I think that is what we wanted to go for, isn't it? Yeah, just update to standard in general. That's quite expensive. 500, 600 bucks extra. But yeah, I guess we have to, otherwise we are sucking too heavily in comfort and prestige. Again, some steering quality. Yeah, because we don't have any power steering yet. We kind of need that. Oh, this kind of sucks, though. We don't have the 50s available just yet. So we have to start with the 40s. And, well, it's not tuned yet. It's rock hard. And, considering that, it's already looking pretty good, though. Okay, let's tune those parameters. Oh, sports car tune. Alright, let's tune it for normal. Yeah, okay. If the values are coming up that fast, then I see some potential in this. Yeah, just sliding it down to 120 here once again. Getting us very close. The values are starting to look better, but not excellent. The brakes are still way off. Okay, there's some tuning that needs to be done. No, wrong direction. That is quite a bit better, but I'm very worried about the fuel economy here. That's terrible. That's not cheating anymore with the 110 kilometer an hour mark, where the fuel economy is measured. The last point on the curve. Yeah, I don't think we can get around that necessarily. The suspension setup now is quite solid. I reduced the sway bar so that we're getting closer to the roll angle. We were sitting at below 5 degrees before, so that was way too hard. And now it's 100 drivability, but it's the affordability in this one that is a little limiting. But on the other hand, because we are mass producing this one, in a then medium 2 I would assume, that could work out. Also, this is quite low, set very low, this body. Let's amp it up a little, gets us closer to the 7% as well, there. And in general, ups the practicality rating, because it's just much more comfortable to load and get in and out of. So yeah, overall just beneficial at this point. Let's take a look at the markets. Yeah, it's 64%. I quite wonder what it is that is so costly. It is the interior and wheels and brakes. 911 bucks. Is that... let's take a look. That could be my quite massive brakes here. This is just 150. This is also just 100. I don't know. Oh, the wheels themselves are 420. Like blazing it. You were not supposed to do burnouts in this. Hand-Dieter is going to come by and kill you dead. Well, you know what? We're not using the maximum brake size anyway, so we can make them cheaper. Let's see if we succeed. Let's hold this car. We are at material cost 3,010, and now let's drop this down to 15s, 14s even, and do smaller wheels. Because this should still be fine, shouldn't it? I think so. Yeah, this is still fine. Alright, and we have just reduced the weight of the car by over 10 kilos. Nice. The drivability has changed a little to the worse. Let's not mention that. This is because we still can go a little smaller. They're 95s. Now we're at the limit. Come on. Oh, no, that was wrong. Oh, maybe they were sitting at... Yeah, the wrong one. There. Okay, now it's better. Cool. So we have dropped the price a lot. And we have basically the same competitiveness without re-optimizing. That is looking good. And yes, we're still over-braked. So this is now the limit, the 275. We didn't need more, so that's great. So dropping the pad type a little bit more. Dropping the size quite a bit more on both, especially the rear. We're not caring too much about utility brake fade. And that really makes it quite a bit cheaper and lighter. So it saves some fuel. Oh, Hand-Dieter, we make you proud. Now I just need to re-optimize the suspension setup, and then we can go from there. Oh, this is now quite a bit lower, so let's pump it up. A little out of whack with these numbers. So I'm going to try a slightly larger setup here. No, that is exactly the same direction we're coming from. So smaller setup even? No, I can't quite get to it with this. So let's switch back and use this slightly awkward setup. This one is ever so slightly worse than the 120. But now that we have managed this switch around, let's compare. I've almost forgot what I was trying to achieve. Ah, yeah, it was going for the smaller brakes and so on. Smaller rims by 2 inches. That's quite a big difference. And yes, so we do have slightly higher drivability, comfort same, and we are losing prestige, of course. You know, large rims, prestigious, donks, all the donks. Practicality, no, not a significant impact. Slightly better fuel economy, but we are shedding some almost 15 kilos of the weight. Better reliability, and we shave off some $111. Not too terrible. Okay, here we go. Yes, 122 in competitiveness after we found the mega gearing, the super ultra overdrive gear. And that one, I think I do want to slightly adjust though with that. That's going in the wrong direction, isn't it? This car is fantastic. It's made for city driving. Let's say that it's made for city driving. You have somewhat mediocre acceleration, 0.16 G. It isn't enough for normal, usual driving if you don't plan to get anywhere fast. And then, bam, drops off a cliff and you hang there forever at an acceleration of 0.02 Gs up to 106 kilometers an hour. Holy shit, that's awful. But yes, 9.3 liters per 100k. Considering that this car is significantly more heavy than the one we built previously, I don't think this is too bad. And now that this one is designed, we need to compare it to switching out the engine versus our current one. Or the one that is currently being facelifted. Oh no, just came out. So 122.8, let's go here. And existing variant, let's select the E50. Yeah, I assume it is quite underpowered. We get down to 9 liters per 100k, but yeah, it's just not tuned for that. Let's check out the graphs. Holy shit. It makes a grand total of 84 kilometers an hour. Not great. Yeah, lots of things are whack with this one. I think we could re-optimize it for that, if we wanted to, or bring out this engine as like with a different tune of the car as the first one. Yeah, I don't know. I think having done it like this, first putting in the new engine into it, and then putting the old engine and then re-optimizing, just make sure that we can put both in there and both are good. So I have not re-optimized that yet, but I'm going to replace this variant, the current one here, with the E52, or Hand-Dieter is, and just make a few optimizations so that we can reuse that we only get one big cost for the retooling of our car factory, and not for the engine factory at the same time. Ah, I see. So you try to make some smart decisions for efficiency of your factories. I appreciate that, and I shall try to make this slightly better. But it's so close to perfect. I can't guarantee that it actually will be better. Okay, so we are comparing it to the old engine here, and you see that I've increased the fuel efficiency to 16.3. So I managed to improve on something that is already almost perfect, which you should be very glad for having me for. So this is fantastic work. And for you sports fans out there, you see that we have added 0.1 horsepower for your pleasure. You're welcome. Yeah, all right. I think that's it. I mean, look at it. It's not bad. Everything's green. It's lighter, it's better, apart from, well, engineering time, yeah, it might go up a little. Ooh, the production unit's a bit on the high side now. Quality slider spam, not great, but I think it's worth it here, because production time is not really hampering us too much, and that's just a few extra bucks. It's $1.50, so it's round-ish $35 higher price. We can afford that. Well, this is a little funny looking, I have to say. Those wheels. Going for tiny wheels and cranking up all the ride height. Well, We have to re-optimize this though. This is looking promising. 127. A little bit more affordable. As you see there. A little bit more affordable. Oh, we're still holding the car. So, yeah, this is looking very good. Lower stats. It's not as premium. It's not as drivable either. Low power, after all. But it's more economical. It's quite a bit lighter. That's 50 kilos difference there. And more reliable because the engine is more refined. Oh yes, I think this is the way to go with the old engine. A refined version of the old engine. Quite happy with this build. Even though it looks stupid as fuck. But, like, who looks anyway, right? It's just for driving pure economy. And this is exactly what we're aiming for. That is spot on. 130 in the important segments. I think this is a winner. Now, let's see how long will it take to actually, make this happen. Oh, refreshing the factory building itself. Already 24 million. Ouch. 57 for the major tooling. And only 19 for the minor tooling though. So that's fine. If we want to upgrade, it's 14 months. I think if we're waiting for a long time for this, then 14 months in this switchover is not too long a wait time. But overall building costs are shooting up to 440 million. I've also upped the automation and quality a bit, just 5. I know it's costly, but if we're investing that heavily, why not add those 10 million to the balance? Okay, what do we have here? 16 months. Ooh. Yeah, that is the chassis right there. The chassis is 52 months. First monocoque of the company. That hurts. I think I need to ponder over this. What we're going to do with this project, because it's so promising and yet so difficult to pull off with our current situation, even if you calculate 4.5, 5 years down the line. Yeah, okay. Lots of interesting stuff this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.